Now, before you go down to the comments and start calling this a Wooting clone, let's give Lamzu's first keyboard a good look over. And starting off with the unboxing experience, of course, Lamzu never misses a step with their packaging. And on top of your keyboard, you can see you have this cool, clear little wave art thing with a little message right up top that I can't really see. And right underneath that, you have your quick start guide, which shows you all of your shortcuts, since this is a 65% keyboard, but it's very simplistic how they have this laid out here. Love how they did this. Then, of course, the keyboard, which we'll take a look at that here in a second. You have a carrying bag. You have a couple of extra switches. Over here, you have some keycaps, which these keycaps are rubber, which we'll talk more about later on. You have some of these rubber dampeners, which my guess is going to be spacebar dampening silicone. Over here, you have your USB-C cable. It is white with that teal. Is that teal? Whatever blue color you call that. And then you have a keycap and switch puller. And just looking at the packaging that it's in, again, you got this hard cardboard on the outside, and then inside, everything, even down to the accessories, is just lined with this nice foam. Lamzu just does packaging the best. And the first thing I noticed taking this keyboard out of the box is how lofty it is. You can see it's coming at 1,194.7 grams or 42.14 ounces. This thing really has some heft to it. And where that loft is coming from is the great build of this keyboard, having an aluminum body, some dampening foam, your PCB, another layer of silicone, your aluminum plate, your switches, and then the silicone keycaps. And when you get this keyboard in the hand, you truly feel the premium quality. Again, the case is not one of those just straight up squared off cookie cut keyboard cases. You see you got these nice angles on the end right there. You got your rubber feet on the corners, and then this Lamzu metal mirror art style on the bottom, again with those waves. Just doesn't feel like a cookie cut keyboard. And that goes right in line with the included silicone keycaps. These things feel absolutely amazing. Now, this is not my first time using silicone keycaps, but this is the first time I'm seeing them included on a board out of the box. Now, as you can see, as I mentioned before, you pretty much have that low profile keycap down there, and then that silicone is all the way around. As you see, you can bow it in right around there. Now, as far as RGB on this keyboard and these keycaps, it's a little weird. You're going to see that light is just on the northern part of the keycap, not really surrounding the entire deal. It's really just where that font is. So it looks a little weird at first hand, but you get used to it. And yes, as you're seeing, you can control all your RGB right on the keyboard. Now, you can also use the Lamzu software, as you see right here, which is real weird. It always comes up in this gigantic mode on my PC. I don't know if that's some setting I have, and there's no way for me to actually reduce the size. But anyways, you see you got the device info, caps lock, and let me ask you guys something. So look at caps lock LED here, and look right above that C. Do you guys see that little black dot? It's over here messing with me, thinking it's something on my monitor, but anyways, it's on cap lock, it's on reset. They got the little black dot that is just messing with my head right there. But anyways, all those settings are right there. Moving on, you have your keyboard, which you can see here, all of your functions, whatever you want to set, your function 1 and 2 over there. The cool thing is you can actually set it right down here to Mac, and then you're going to set over here with your Mac keys. You all know with me using Mac, I love stuff like that. Now the juicy stuff coming over here to sensitivity. You got key down sensitivity and key up as far as rapid trigger. Now when you pull it all the way down, it's going to say rapid trigger disabled. The cool thing is over here, it's going to actually show you. So if you're not, too sure what that is, it would be kind of cool if it adjusted. As you adjusted this, it adjusted over here. That would be cool. But as you see, it does not. So anyways, you can actually see, okay, well, am I going to press down here to 2.5 or bottom out to the 3.8? The other thing you want to make sure is whenever you're changing this, that it's not changing right now, you want to come over here and click all, or if you just want your WASD or something like that. Coming over here to LED, as far as the RGB, you see you got all the options you can choose from, but of course you can change all this on your keyboard as well. And then you got some macros. So now that we had a good look over of the board, the build and everything, let's go on and get a sound test. And what you're looking at right there for a second in silence is my ambient room noise level. And just for the sake of comparison, let's go on and compare the sound up to the new Endgame Gear keyboard that recently came out. So both keyboards at the core, I think they sound really good. They really do. Nice and buttery. They both got that dual layer dampening foam within it or silicone. But the spacebar on both of them, oof, it's bad on the Endgame Gear one for sure, but it's not perfect over here on the Lamzu as well. So what I want to try is inserting the spacebar dampening silicone and see if it fixes that. Not much, honestly. I think what it's going to need is a little bit more lube on those stabs. The other stabs feel much smoother than a spacebar. Now these switches on this keyboard are linear with a 40 gram initial force, 60 gram bottom out force, adjustable actuation from 0.2 to 3.8. And yes, they do also have the rapid trigger feature where you can set the release point of your switch as well. Now with that combination of these butter smooth switches here, which are not ridiculously lightweight, talking about that 40 grams by any means, they got a nice press. And then on top with the silicone keycaps, which are not mushy by any means, they are softer, they feel very nice for sure, but that combination of everything going into the foam and then the silicone in there, and with this keyboard being tray mount, it really doesn't have any of that give which you would expect, which you don't want in a gaming keyboard. We're all talking about latency and how fast are the switches. Well, if you're using a gasket mounted keyboard, it's going to flex and bow down on you, and that was my first impressions with this. Okay, it's got the foam in there, got these rubber keycaps, it's just going to add more milliseconds onto it, which we're all trying to eliminate, and you really don't get that here. And as far as in-game performance, this thing is snappy and right to the point. Again, I got mine set at that 1 millimeter and then 0.5. Son of a gun, I shouldn't be talking while I'm in a round. Oh, that was lucky. This is why I don't put gameplay in my videos, because I just want to play. I can't focus on doing the video. Everyone's gonna get bored. Like, hey, we want to hear about the keyboard. Let's find one more person. And 1, 2. Oh yeah, got them both. The performance live up to the specs. It is snappy, precise, and right to the point. But most importantly, is it worth the asking price of 160 bucks? Top to bottom, using it, the aesthetics, the feel of it, heck yes, this thing is worth it. Good job, Lamzu, on your first keyboard release. But can we get some different colorways? You know Techne can't be keeping blue on his desk. And let's stop with comparing everything to the frickin' Wooting keyboard already.